Overseer's Log 24. Ghouls at dusk, robots at dawn. Hello, Vault Dwellers and Wastelanders. My name is Kyle, and I will be your overseer for this companion episode to our Fallout TTRPG actual play series, Tales from Tomorrow, Under the Mothman's Embrace. Before we get into our usual scheduled programming, which is for me to go through all the behind-the-scenes stuff, I need to tell you a couple really important housekeeping notes. Firstly, I'll say we haven't streamed a Tales from Tomorrow game in the last 2 weeks because life stuff. Poor Sky had a fiasco happen with his laptop. His screen wasn't working. Thought it was going to be an easy fix. Turned out he had to buy a new one. We're hoping that he enjoys that. But that was about 2 Sundays ago. Then him and DK had their birthdays the following weekend. That's just this past. So, of course, we took that weekend off as well. And we're looking forward to coming back to you this next. It's been an exciting transition going over to the Forge and Foundry system. That's been great. But before we get into any more about that, I have to give some very upsetting news to people out there. And I'm going to try and keep this brief. And I want to keep this in the realm that I am expressing it to you, not to incite harassment or anyone going out of their way to cause trouble for people, but because I think folks out there need to know who and what communities to avoid. So as you can probably all see here on camera, I wear my political opinions very bold, very out there, very on their face. And that was a key element of me deciding before joining any other creators community that I will be my honest self the whole way through, not one step back. And that's who I am. Now, unfortunately, in the wake of the Charlie Kirk assassination, I was unceremoniously booted out of the Wild Wastelanders market, myself along with others, because apparently on one day, this opinion is great to have, and then on a Thursday, this opinion is terrible to have, or maybe I should say more specifically on a Friday. Within 2 days of the event happening, I and others were booted out. So I want to let you know, if you are someone that opposes racism, white supremacy, you stand against fascism, etc., hop on out of the Wild Wastelanders market, because they are pursuing what appears to me to be pursuing money over defending their own members of the community. There was some really shady stuff that went on there. And just, again, without going into too much detail, just to say that other people outside of the group were harassing members, and the leadership of the group decided to join with the external harassers, and that's never good. So if you're part of it, if you're in their Facebook group or anywhere else, I would recommend strongly hopping out. I'm leaving those episodes up on the Vault Broadcast podcast. Unfortunately, there's at least 4 admins from that group that are up on the Vault Broadcast podcast, and I'm really ashamed that people like that could get through. You know, I ask questions on the form for Vault Broadcast asking, you know, are you part of any white supremacist group, etc. And I do my little work on the side, but these are one of those cases of people who slip through the gaps because they're not out and proud with their bigotry, but that they're okay with it happening. They're sort of pacifist enablers to that sort of thing. Not going to say no and prevent the racism, the bigotry. Instead, going to tell the people who are receiving that pain, they're going to tell them to shut up and leave, right? And that's what happened to me. So again, if you need to know more for any particular reason, you can feel free to DM me and get in touch. But I want to shout out, again, they were pursuant to codes and money and all the rest. If you are someone that, you know, was part of that community because you were looking for codes, I want to let you know myself and others will have these at infinitum. I've got a whole new code lined up. In fact, I don't have it with me right now. I think it's Overseer YT for YouTube. So Overseer YT will be the next one after Vault 2. But if you want to save 20% off on the Bethesda Gear Shop, you want to get some awesome stuff, I've been wearing some amazing Fallout shirts from the shop, but today I'm wearing this one because this is key to the message, right? Again, like to put a bow on this, I'll just say, you know, you want to save money, we have our codes. Choose who you're supporting. Pay attention to what they're supporting. If allies aren't willing to actually be outspoken and be there in moments when it matters, then they are not allies at all, right? It's easy to say you're an ally in words, but then not actually do anything in action. And I don't stand with those groups, not at all. So I'm very sad. We were going to meet up with a lot of them out there in Vegas. I think we're still going to go out there by the sounds of it, but we won't be meeting up with them at all. I don't platform anything like that. And again, if this shirt's okay on day 1 and not on day 3, then we got a problem. So anywho, let's move on from that and just say onwards and upwards. Thank you to all of you who've been reaching out. People have been saying, Kyle, I want to use your code, do your stuff. I want to support you because you're actually walking the walk and talking the talk in a time where it's incredibly difficult to do so. So thank you to those people who have spoken out very kindly. To them, I've said the same thing across different platforms. If you want to, and it's financially comfortable for you to do so, become a subscriber. I make almost no money off of this, aside from the coupon codes. I am making about nothing. There's no AdSense, no nothing like that. I think I have 3 subscribers over on Coffee. So if you're someone that, again, is like throwing money out the door, you don't know what to do with it, consider throwing that money out the door and into my pocket, my wallet, because we are going to bring you great Fallout content, especially if I can get my butt out to Vegas. But that really depends on if I can fund it, because it sounds like an expensive trip. That being said, I've already made the first steps at getting equipment for it. This is the Zoom H6 Essential. It has technically 6 audio channels that it can record at one time. And I've got a really great microphone that I've picked up just for this occasion. I want to go out there with it and get some fantastic interviews out at the Good Springs event. This is the Fallout fan celebration. So if you're someone that's interested in going out there, if you're planning on it, let me know. If you'd like to support in doing any of that, ko-fi.com/overseer Kyle is the place to do it. I am going to just briefly move into talking about the last episode of the show, the Tales from Tomorrow episode 24. That episode was very technical, which is why I don't have too much to say about it right here. We were in our Foundry exploration phase, our very first game hosted in Foundry. That worked out so well. Massive shout out to Neri in our Discord server who helped me get onboarded to that platform to begin with, because Foundry looks a little daunting, but it's actually really achievable. You can get in there and do some good stuff in no time. So with that said, I'm very happy with Foundry. I like it. I think we're going to dig it far into the future. It's just so much less laggy than Alchemy. Alchemy was revealing battle maps, and Alchemy was just so slow to get anything done that I was keeping all the characters, like the health points and all this other information. I was keeping it on a scratch pad in Notion, not even using the VTT because Alchemy was just too slow. So man, that's done and over with. I do want to invite you all. We have a Discord server though. We're going to look at setting up a campaign 2. Oh, I should probably address that. Campaign 2. Oh, everything happened at the same time. So from Charlie Kirk getting all leaky on us to campaign 2 having to go on ice, all that happened on the same Wednesday. I was just so overwhelmed that day. And with real life stuff, did I even mention in this that the plumbing here at the office was busted for an entire week? Actually, plus, it was a week and a half that the plumbing was busted here. So there's been a lot of reasons I've not been online. And I want to apologize to all of you because we were on such a good roll with it all. But I don't think we're going to have any Friday night Fallout segments like we were doing. Not yet, at least. Unfortunately, those recurring guests are part of that old community we're not part of now. So that's going to go on ice. But we're going to be back. I'm going to get more Vault broadcast interviews. Those are getting lined up right now. We got a new Tales from Tomorrow this Sunday. Woo, we're going to be moving right along. And I just want to say we're back into Fallout 76 at least about 4 nights a week over on Twitch. So be sure to join twitch.tv/overseer Kyle. Join in the Discord server so you don't miss an announcement. And go check out the YouTube channels. But I think that's going to be all for today. I'm going to keep this one super short. I just want to make it straight and to the point. I got to say, from the bottom of my heart, over and over again, anyone that disagrees with the phrase on my shirt right here, right now, I want nothing to do with that type of community. If you're kind to these types here, you are enabling them. If you are, oh, but they matter, their opinions matter, they have feelings, we should care, their shit stinks too. I think a lot of white people don't understand how violent this imagery, these people are people, quotes. I think we got a lot of people who are sheltered, privileged, naive, greedy, spineless, wimpy, cowardice. I could say so many more words, but come on, especially fellow white guys, step up. This is a test. You're being tested right now. You got to step up. If you're not doing it now, you're failing hardcore and you're losing points every day you don't step up. Luckily, there's a great movement online called the alt-left movement catching on TikTok. If guys out there need some help growing a pair, let those crew be the ones to help you do it. Because again, speaking to my fellow white guys, there's no excuse you're not standing up against bigotry, racism, homophobia, transphobia, anti-migrant stuff. No excuse. It's anyone that's buying into it. Come on, wake up. That stuff's propaganda. It's poison to your brain. It's literally meant to. I watched people, family members, fall for this all twice over. Twice. That means they came out of it once and then fell for it again. Decades apart. Decades apart. Don't be like these people. Don't be a gullible fool, because there's nothing to be proud of when you're a gullible fool. That just means anyone can manipulate you, so don't do it. Start thinking for yourself. Anyway, that's what I'll leave this one with. Be good, my fellow vault dwellers. And if you see any of those crazy raiders out there screaming about CK or about Pepe's or trying to groom their male friends because groypers are actually weird and into transmaxing, you can go down that rabbit hole on your own, but you make sure you seal them outside the vault. No matter how much they yell, scream, kick, or otherwise, you just turn on that music, party hard, and let the death claws above ground take care of the mess. Until next week, everyone, bye-bye.